safely, yes. Right, yeah. That's my final answer. Cooking safely. I'm terrible.
I am a straight donation station in Jupiter.
If you're low on cash, call Sawhead.
Give us a moment, FP. Give us a moment. Right in the middle. What a birdie.
Can we just please stop saying this a moment ago?
Subtle signs that you're playing with a stick.
A bag? You want me to be intimidated by a f***ing bag? What is up, dogs? What a weekend for golf. I'm joined by my man, Ben Boscovich. You know, I said last week, the Andy Bernard quote, I wish we knew when we were experiencing the good days before they're already past us. These are the good days. What a weekend for golf. Anthony Kim, incredible comeback story at LIV Adelaide. Collin Morikawa wins a chaotic final round at Pebble Beach. We are all winners this week. And we're going to do something that we've never done before on the show. We're going to lead the show with our dog of the week.
Let's go.
And this is a strong contender for dog of the year. Our dog of the week, no surprise, is Anthony Kim. Look, surely we're not so divided as a society, and remember, this is golf, this is not politics, that we can't unite behind an incredible story. Anthony Kim couldn't even walk when he went into rehab. He posted, I was looking at his Instagram, a picture of all the pills that he had to take twice a day just to basically stand upright. He took more than a decade off of golf, and we're not talking just professional golf, like golf in general. He didn't play golf at all. Then he comes back with that guaranteed contract on LIV, and he makes a mess. He finishes like almost last in every event, then he earns his way back through their promotions event, and then he wins their premier tournament. And you better believe that this being LIV Adelaide added to it. That's their premier event. It's a great, great golf tournament. We're going to rank golf tournaments later in the show. You're going to see where LIV Adelaide ranks. There were fans lining the fairways. There were fans running onto the fairways. And he played in the final group with Bryson and Rahm, the two top dogs on LIV, and he closed it like a fucking boss. 63 in the final round. And, you know, I saw some people saying it didn't matter where this was, you know, it would have been the same story. It's not true. It felt really big because of the tournament that it was at. And he reminded us why he was so popular when he came out. He's box office. The fist pumps, the swing, the white belt swagger. And I actually had an incredible interaction with Anthony Kim, a personal interaction in probably 2009. I was about to play Trump Bedminster with my dad, and Anthony Kim was my favorite player at the time. He had the white belt on. He was, you know, wearing all the Nike stuff. I was obsessed with Nike at the time, probably because of Tiger Woods. And he's hitting balls over on the side of the range. And probably because he didn't really want to keep practicing, he walked over to me and he said, "Hey kid, do you want a lesson? And let's show this picture of me and Anthony Kim." I wish that the cell phone pictures were a little better back then, but you can tell that's him. The white hat, the white belt, the AK on it. It's hilarious that he was the drill that he's doing with me is the same drill I do now, which is basically trying to prevent me from like reverse pivoting and my left shoulder going down and toward the ball. Golf never changes. I'm wearing the blue Nike hat because I thought I was Tiger Woods. He's just a good guy, dude. And then a dog in the wild, my buddy Marlon sent me some incredible photos from a yearbook at Campbell Hall, which is right here in the valley, not far away from where we are right now. There's Anthony Kim. And then there's 9-year-old Tony Kim.
Tony Kim.
Quoted in the yearbook saying, "Golfing is one of my favorite activities. I had a great time playing with all the other golfers on the team." And, you know, reading about the Anthony Kim story, he really said that his daughter is what brought him back to golf. And his daughter wanted to learn how to play. And it was the first time that he really had enjoyed playing golf in a long time. It's a full circle moment with that picture. You know, he enjoyed it when he was a kid. And then he gets to the tour and he makes all this money and he falls out of love with the game and he goes through all these demons. And then he fights back in an incredible way. And now the question is, and I saw a lot of the LIV Twitter people saying, you know, should he get an invite to the Masters? I would like him to get an invite to the Masters.
Sure, certainly.
It's not, this is not a LIV, and I said this is not a time to bicker about LIV versus the PGA Tour. This is an Anthony Kim story. And Anthony Kim has history at the Masters, and not just from taking drugs like in a porta potty. He made 11 birdies, which is still the record for a round at Augusta National. I don't know if they're going to invite him. I don't know what you think, Ben, but I personally, Anthony Kim is an incredible watch. It's not just the comeback story, which is incredible. It's watching him play golf. He jumps off the screen.
I think everybody would love to see that. I think that'd be box office television. I think you got to think about the precedent that it sets. Like, maybe we let the dust settle for a little bit before we make that decision, because it can be really easy to make a hyperbolic decision in the heat of, like, the golf brilliance that we got to see over the weekend.
But they make their own rules, and they invited Joaquin Niemann a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last year. You know, he had a couple wins on LIV, and he was playing really good golf and playing well all over the world. And you know, hopefully Anthony Kim continues this standard of play, because I think everyone in the golf world would love to see him there. I mean, this was by far the best LIV story that they've had, and it tells us something, right? It's not just about signing, you know, the biggest names and having them all play together in these tournaments. That happens at the Hero World Challenge, and no one really cares. It's about the human interest story. It's about the crowd interest, and there's an incredible crowd in Adelaide. Yeah, it just looked and felt big. Incredible stuff from Anthony Kim. All right, moving on to Pebble Beach. Collin Morikawa. Look, Collin can be a bit of a maniac. He's known as a crazy perfectionist on tour. He ditched his swing coach, Rick Sessinghaus, who was his coach since he was 8, after one bad patch of play. They're back together now. He can be a little polarizing. I remember when he was talking about the media and kind of saying, you know, they don't document our story, and he didn't talk after Bay Hill. He's got a big time sort of fuck you, I'm the best attitude. There's some people on golf Twitter who aren't a huge fan of him. He's crazy competitive, and there was some speculation, you know, that maybe he was a little bit of a flash in the pan. His 2 majors, he won 2 of his first 8 majors, but they were COVID majors, and he never got to number 1 in the world because he blew, I think it was a 5-shot lead at the Hero World Challenge, and that eats at him. And then he was a big-time punching bag during the Ryder Cup for that pairing that he, you know, wasn't his choice, but he went out there with Harris English. They got absolutely dusted by Tommy and Rory, and we had him on the show last week. Let's roll that clip.
You know, I think I can win multiple times, but I've just got to unlock that freedom and that kid-like sense of playing golf again.
And then he birdied 15 and 16. It was a very crowded leaderboard. Sam Burns was up there. Jacob Bridgman, who been completely disrespected, was up there. Scotty, obviously, post 20 under with an incredible final round. Then he hits a horrific shot on 17. It was about a yard away from going into the ocean. Makes a gutsy bogey. And then he hits the fairway on 18, and they ice the kicker big time. We're going to roll this clip in its entirety. It's a little bit of a long clip, but it kind of tells you the story of 18, and it was a wild one.
It was longer in real life.
That's where Jacob Bridgman's second shot ended up. He's got to have to go over the stands.
Oh, sick.
This is an awesome shot, but this is going to make Collin wait forever. All right, Jacob Bridgman is finally playing what it looks like a, I don't know, 50, 60-yard shot back over.
It's a wedge ruiner.
Yeah, he's going to get a new one, though, so that's okay. Oh, that's got to go. Oh, I hit in the rock. Oh,
yeah.
Where does he drop it now? Where does he drop it now?
I think same spot.
Look at the club too. It's definitely the club. Was the reason why that happened. This is not what you want to see if you're Collin Morikawa.
No.
You are just sitting. He's just staring.
Geez.
Yeah, he's going full Patrick Rogers, just staring at the ocean, taking it all in. Can our boy just take, you know, double bogey? What is it, like stroke
Double
control,
par.
equitable stroke control? This is taking forever. This is crazy, guys. I mean, last week on the 18th hole, we saw Hideki get iced by the fans and all of the chaos.
Colin's
there.
like Ben Affleck on the beach right now.
Collin looks like Dan Rappaport when he just can't stop moving during a Manchester United game. Bridgman should be disqualified for taking an hour to play the hole. No,
Not how it works.
You guys are
Watch him hoop this.
You guys are harsh. That was a pretty good. That was almost Scotty Jr.
Look at this
from Bridgman. So he's got that for bogey.
Wind's still pulling it. Look at it go.
Wind is pulling it big time. Oh my God! Look at this wind, guys. The ball just will not stay. This is a chaotic 18th hole. How many times are they going to try? We got to find a different solution here. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Press it a little bit.
Just putt. It stayed.
Look, it's there. Putt.
Putt. What's the rule here? He's got to get it to where it can stay. Oh, and now he's doing the aim point, and it's going to watch. It's going to blow. It's going to blow. Guaranteed.
It should blow into his foot while he's aim pointing. That'd be amazing.
And Jacob Bridgman, our long national nightmare is over. He is finally putting for bogey, and he made it.
He made it. Nice. That's a good bogey.
Hell of a bogey.
That's the best bogey I've seen all week.
That is a hell of a bogey, and he stays in the top 10. Tie for 8th. All right, Collin Morikawa. Here we go. We are watching Collin Morikawa with an iron in his hand. Can he find the green in search of a birdie to win the tournament? It starts left. It's cutting. It's riding the wind.
Looks really good.
Does it get there? It does. Does it stay on the green? It does not.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay, so Collins lands on the green after that big stoppage. He might be able to putt it. He might have to chip it. It's better. That should be an advertisement for the watch long. That's just
straight up.
We're
dude.
having so much fun doing that.
I love watching golf.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Well, I love watching golf when there's absolute chaos on the 18th hole for the second time. And so this was Collin's first win. He went with the putter right there. He kind of just got it tumbling, got it to about 16 inches, tapped it in. And it really came out of nowhere. Like when we did that interview, you know, he said, my belief in my game is really high, but the scores aren't showing. He got the victory. First one, how long was it? Like 800 something days?
800 some days, 2.32 years.
2.32 years. And I got my first like full winter interview of the year. The first one, we were in Dubai, Ben did it. Then Justin Rose had to catch a flight. Scotty Scheffler had to catch a flight. Last week, Chris Goddard, wanted to watch Super Bowl. I wanted to watch Super Bowl, so we kind of rushed through it. Here's my first proper winter interview of the year with Collin Morikawa.
Thank you.
2 thumbs up.
Nice, Dan.
We had a talk on Wednesday of last week. You were down in the dumps a little bit. I asked you, I said, what is the state of Collin Morikawa's game right now? And you said, well, the belief is high, the skill maybe not so much. So it's sort of a 2-part question. Number 1, did you believe this was right around the corner? And number 2, is the Dan on golf bump as real as it seems?
I always believed it was right around the corner. I mean, I would have kept waiting. I would have kept waiting forever. I would have continued to play until I could, right? The bump on the show, I mean, maybe, I don't know who you've interviewed in the past. Maybe, is that a thing?
It's a thing. We're making it a thing.
Okay. All right. We'll start here. Don't interview Scotty. But yeah, no, I think the belief was always there. Honestly, like even throughout the beginning of this week through Wednesday, like it still felt like I wasn't just putting scores together. I wasn't playing golf. I know we talked about that, but like it felt like I was just kind of doing everything I could and shooting 200. And that's what I did at Phoenix, a week ago. But was able to kind of get out of that mindset.
What was going through your mind on 18? They tried to ice you. They iced the kicker. I think it was 17 minutes between you hit shots. I was thinking Rick Sessinghaus, I have to think that his words were playing through your mind. What'd you do to stay occupied?
Honestly, like I just stared at the ocean. Like that's why I kept pacing back and forth. Like I don't know how many times they showed me pacing back and forth, but like
quite a few.
That's all I did. Like the last thing I wanted to do was think about how I was going to hit that shot. Because if I started thinking about, okay, man, I had 220 to the front, 236 to the hole. Like, oh, I got to start this 4-iron here. Oh, I saw Jacob hit his shot left. Like, man, do I need to start more left or more right? It was the last thing. But like for me, being an LA guy, being a West Coast guy like you look at the ocean, I think you forget about everything else in life. And that helped so much. I was very, very lucky to have that backdrop. And just stared at some rocks, stared at some water, stared at some birds, just anything aside from that, hitting that shot.
So then walk me through the shot on 18. How far left did you start it? Did you think that you flushed it? And were you surprised? Because it landed and then it kind of kicked right. And I thought it was going to kick back onto the green. And then you also took the putter right away. Was there a decision there about maybe chipping it?
So there's that, the glass booth the guys talk through, right? And the announcers, the backdrop on 18. It was to aim at the right edge of that. At least that was the plan. I stood over it and I actually aimed at the left edge, like what I felt was left edge, because I just felt like the ball was never going to go left. Like it wasn't. Like I was just never going to have that ball go left. And when I hit it flush, so I knew it was going to be landing the perfect distance. I mean, it was a perfect 4-iron. Like it wouldn't have gone anywhere else. Like it wasn't going to go over the pin. It wasn't going to land short of the green. But I thought it was going to miss right, and I thought it was going to miss in the right bunker. Golf gods were on my side. The wind didn't take it as far, even though it was howling, landed soft. Walking up, like I thought about chipping just from when I stepped on the green. But looking at it, I mean, it was a putter or like a bladed wedge or even a 5-wood all day. Like you just needed to tumble and, not have the wind do whatever the wind does to these poet greens.
So last question. I mean, you dropped some serious news. You're going to be a dad. You beat me to that, which is good on you. You're gonna have some like dad bod, some dad strength. Like what is Collin's dad chapter gonna look like?
I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and find out. I mean, I'm already putting on the pregnancy weight, that apparently husbands get. I don't think it's helped me at speed. I don't think it's helped me hit shots, but we're gonna find out. You learn on the go is what I've heard, and but we're very excited. So thank you.
Congratulations, man. I know you're not like a golf history. We've talked about this. You get mad at me when I say it. Winning at Pebble Beach is a big fucking deal. So congratulations, dude.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
Fantastic stuff from Collin. Great winter interview. But nice to be back on the winter interview train. Yeah. I appreciate it. Some other finishes to highlight. Scotty Scheffler was +1 through 22 holes. Played his last 50 in 21 under par. Had the clubhouse lead for a second. So that's now 18 straight top 10s and 9 straight top 5s. We're not counting the hero because there's only 18 players in the tournament. And I'm making an announcement on this show. I will not be getting a haircut until Scotty Scheffler finishes outside the top 10. I'm just kidding. I posted that this morning. It's obviously a joke on the Manchester United guy, United Strand, who's not getting a haircut until Man United win 5 in a row. My mom responded and goes, "You can't do this. You'll have a ponytail." So it would just go on way too long.
It got shut down right away. By
yeah, my wife wasn't into it. It was an idea. Alex didn't like the idea. Ben didn't like the idea. So it's not going to happen. Minwoo Lee finished tied for second, which is huge. Huge finish for Minwoo Lee. Tommy Fleetwood tied for fourth in his season debut on tour. After 2 pretty meh weeks in Dubai, which were home games for him, he was middle of the pack in both those tournaments. So after playing the best golf of his career toward the end of 2025, winning the Tour Championship, being a dynamite in the Ryder Cup, nice start to the year over here stateside for Tommy Fleetwood. Sam Burns finished tied for 6th. Played the 18th hole like a 3-shotter when he needed an eagle to tie the clubhouse lead, which didn't love.
Really bothered me.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see anyone else do it. And I guess they said on the broadcast, we watched the broadcast on mute because we're doing the watch along. The driver, his miss is right. It didn't fit. You could hit 3-wood.
Beats your miss being left.
Yeah, I mean he made a par. It was a little puzzling. Ashtray Bhatia finished tied for 6th. He's not the best win player. Didn't have a lot of control over his ball, but kind of hung in the fight. Ryo Hisatsune finished tied for 8th. That's his 3rd straight top 10 with a wild chip in on the 18th hole from under that tree short right of the green. It was an incredible shot. Jake Knapp also eagled the 18th hole to continue an excellent start to the year. He's finished tied for 11th. Tied for 8th, solo 8th, and then tie for 8th. So Knapp off to a great start after a nightmare offseason. Hideki Matsuyama tied for 8th. He's gone tied for 13th, tied for 11th, lost in a playoff to Chris Gotterup, and tied for 8th. Now goes back to Riv, where he's the last guy who won, because last year, obviously, the tournament was moved to the Torrey Pines because of the LA fires, which brings us to our next point. We're going to hop into the Knockaround. I actually probably won't be using these much this week. It's pouring rain in LA, which is hilarious because it's been the nicest winter of all time. 75 degrees, of course, the tour comes here and it's 52 and raining. We have some shirts that we made. Ben or Alex, can you toss us a shirt? So we wanted to do something to remember the fires because the community is still reeling big time. So we have these shirts, Palisades Golf Love. You could see there's the palm tree, which is kind of the Palisades signature. We got 90272, which is the Palisades area code. All 100% of the proceeds, we're not making $1 off this, are going to Steadfast LA, which is an organization that supports a bunch of initiatives around LA. It's not just the Palisades, because there were other fires. There was the Eaton fire. A lot of the families in Altadena, which was ravaged by fires, aren't in the same financial position that the families in the Palisades are. It's also not associated with the government, which I love, because I know that the money's actually going to the right place. And this is drone footage from just the other day of the Palisades. It's hard to believe that
Think about that, just the other day.
Just the other day. It still looks like that. Nothing has happened. It looks like, a war zone. And, Riviera was spared, and it's going to look beautiful as it always does. But, just a short drive away, LA is still reeling. So these shirts are going to be on sale. It's going to be a little while before they're delivered because Classic Dan, I just didn't get on it fast enough. But
we just wanted to get it out there and get it going.
Right.
You get your shirt, but it's for a good cause.
Right. So. But I wanted to start this, I wanted to have them in people's hands for this tournament, and I just messed that up. But you can buy these on the Dan on Golf on the Scratch website. 100% of the proceeds going to Steadfast LA. Join the Palisades Golf Club. Join the community. I'm looking at you, like my LA golf community. It's a great shirt. They run a little big, so maybe size down if you need to.
Yeah, size down for sure.
But a really great initiative with Steadfast LA that is near and dear to our hearts. So please buy a shirt. And also, I have an announcement. I spoke to Chad Mumm. Pro Shop will be matching the donation.
Let's go.
So whatever donation that we raise from these shirts, Pro Shop will be matching that donation. So hopefully we can, Steadfast, they do amazing work. They've given people homes, just granted people homes. So it's amazing what they do. Moving topics, very much moving topics. Casey Wasserman is selling his Wasserman Talent Agency after he was named, I guess, in the Epstein files. It says Wasserman, the most winningest sports talent agency on the PGA Tour last year, is putting its business up for sale after revelations in the Epstein files surrounding its owner have become a distraction. I did a little bit of research into this. He had some email exchanges with Ghislaine Maxwell in 2003. Not every Epstein violation is the same.
Yeah.
So it's, somewhat unfortunate that the guy, spent his whole life building this thing and he's caught up in a media shitstorm. More Epstein stuff, because I guess no industry is safe. The head of DP World, which is the title sponsor of the DP World Tour, has resigned because his emails were a lot worse. Oof. There was talk about a torture video. So, I saw a lot of people saying, where's the mainstream media, talking about this? I don't know if we're mainstream media, but we talked about it. Gary Player revealed that he is not welcome at Augusta with his sons, or he can't bring his sons or his grandsons to Augusta. I was thinking, why could this possibly be the case?
Yeah,
maybe it's because his son turned the honorary tea ceremony with Lee Elder there into an advertisement for golf balls. Just a thought. And then lastly, Jackson Coyven won the Gator Invitational. He's the #1 amateur in the world. Last week, he shot 25 under par to win the Amer Airy Invitational in Hawaii, 5,500 miles away. The Gator Invitational at Mark Bostic Golf Course, where we shot with the Florida golf team. He won by 2. He's the best amateur in the world. He's already in the top 200 in the world amateur golf ranking, despite not playing nearly as many events as everybody else. The guy is a star. Florida won the team competition, and Auburn finished second. All right, I have an official statement that was it's been kind of nagging at me, and this week was really where I felt like it was time to say it. I'm addicted to LIV Golf Twitter. I'm just addicted to it. I love it. It's the best. I love that when something happens, there's just going to be vitriol and anger. It's not just celebrating what's happening on LIV. It's sticking it to the PGA Tour cucks. There's this guy, Matt Vicenzi, who actually works for LIV. He loves to subtweet me. Let's pull up this first one. Imagine calling yourself a golf sicko and not watching a shootout in the best golf country in the world. I love Australia. I don't know if it's the best golf country in the world. Between John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Anthony Kim, who's returned from the depths of hell and is striking the absolute piss out of the ball, couldn't be me. I watched. And just because you're not live tweeting something doesn't mean you're not watching it. Then, of course, the Anthony Kim story happens, and we can't just celebrate the Anthony Kim thing. We have to immediately compare it. The Anthony Kim story, says Andrew Kirby, way surpasses the Brooks and Reed stories. Thoughts go out to Colt Knost, No Laying Up, Irish on Tour, Eamon Lynch, Chambly Brandel et al. You know who you are. Colt Knost says, thoughts, buddy? I've been boys with AK since we were in college. We have always had each other's backs. I'm so happy for him. He is on a very short list as far as naturally gifted golfers I've ever seen. This tweet just shows how much of a clown you are. I couldn't agree more. And then also, Sue-Ann Hang is one of the broadcasters on LIV. We can't just say that she's, a good broadcaster. She is the best female reporter in sports. And then more, more name calling with the Anthony Kim story about this fraud. Let's pull up the next one. No ifs or buts, says Luke Elvey. I call him Liv Elvey. Anthony Kim's comeback story from near death to being a competitive force again is the biggest in our sport. It's the biggest story ever. It's the biggest comeback in the history of sports. And then this one was great about Valentine's Day. How many of you in the USA will find a way to wiggle out of spending a Valentine's Saturday night with wife or girlfriend to watch the final round of LIV Adelaide, and then finally, the LIV guys, they were watching the broadcast. They were keeping track of the broadcast. Let's throw up the next one. Not that it's really a surprise, but no PGA Tour player was asked about nor commented on camera about Anthony Kim's incredible comeback win following today's final round at Pebble Beach. I saw a number of PGA Tour players post on social media.
It was almost nonstop
about Anthony Kim's win. It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's in the beginning I was like, oh, these guys are crazy. And now it's just like sit back and watch the anger. It's phenomenal.
Dial up the hyperbole if you're them. Also, by the way, Saturday night, you want to tell everybody, we got home from our Valentine's dates with our wives, and then
he was right.
Maybe forgot they existed a little bit, and we hit the group chat. The three of us were watching LIV final hole.
But we weren't live tweeting about how incredible the story was. We weren't live tweeting about how this is the biggest story in the world. We didn't throw up 10. So that means we weren't watching. Like if you're not doing that, then these people want you to think that you're not watching.
Meanwhile, I would say, and tell me if you disagree, it was the biggest golf story of the weekend.
For sure, we led our show with it.
Yeah, we can admit that.
To be fair, we weren't named in those. We weren't named in the LIV files.
I think the golf sicko.
The golf sicko thing was definitely a subtweet. I mean, he's done that. He's done that to me a number of times. Like on this show, I asked Alan Shipnick. I was like, "Who's the best American left on LIV?" And I said, I said Brooks Koepka instead of Bryson DeChambeau, which obviously it was a misspeak. They have the same first two letters of their name, and
he's like, "Oh my God,
Brooks Koepka," and he's like, "This guy has lost the plot. This guy has absolutely lost it." So I love it. I think it adds to the ecosystem. Sometimes you just gotta take things for what they are. And
it's also like if you're the little brother of leagues and you need to like justify your existence over and over and over again, you use hyperbole to say like you got to swing so hard so that swing for 100%. Worst you get is like a 91. Still get an 8.
It would be like if Collin Morikawa won yesterday, and then all the us tweeted like, the LIV guys want you to think that this isn't a great tournament.
Where's David Farady's tweet about Collin Morikawa?
Where's David Farady's tweet about Collin Morikawa? It's like there was plenty of attention given to the Anthony Kim story. Like it was all over it. So phenomenal stuff. All right, let's bring in one of my favorites out on tour in the traveling circus, Stephen Sweeney. So Stephen Sweeney is a PGA Tour putting coach to the stars. Stephen joining us live on the line. There he is. Oh, look,
what's up, Dan?
Look at you in your studio. Stephen, before we start, give me a list of the guys that you are currently working with.
Rio Hitsatsune, Michael Thorbjornsen, Tom Kim, Aaron Wise, Ben An. Been working for a long time with Collin Morikawa until very recently. We actually just had a really good talk this morning just before he jumped on your show. So I've got about Aaron Wise, a whole bunch of guys that are out there, about 11 guys in total.
So before we get into the talk about the death of the blade putter, because that's why I'm having you on the show, what are your thoughts as a putting coach on the broomstick? Because I do not like it.
It's certainly helped save a couple of guys' careers that I've worked with. The first guy I ever worked with on it was Aaron Wise, and it certainly turned him around. He got into the top 10 in strokes gained putting with it. And then obviously I think probably the more famous body of work that I did with the broom with a player would have been with Akshay Bhatia, taking him from essentially dead last on tour to the top 30 in strokes gained putting the last 2 years in a row.
But that was an answer though. Well, it was sort of an answer because you said it saved some guys' careers, which is sort of my point, right? Like it's not in the, and they changed the rules so you can't anchor it, but then you've got guys who are so close. Is that really putting?
I mean, it is putting by the rules of the definition is today. But you know what's funny is I saw Caleb Surratt putting out of a bunker with it down in down in Adelaide this week, and he basically used a broom style with a short putter. So I don't know if we're going to change things. Obviously the length of the putter would have to change, but I think also the style, how many grips you're allowed on the putter. If your hand placement has to be on the rubber, can it be on the steel? Like how are we going to govern it? I just don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a thorny one. Okay, so let's talk about the blade putter. So what prompted me to do this segment with you is I believe all of the top 10 players in the world are using mallets. Why is this? What do you see in your research? Because I know you're deep into the numbers of putting.
Yeah, so obviously I'm coming at you from home here in Jupiter in Florida. I dug out three old putters, or these are actually three brand new putters that have been made as retros. You've got sort of an old bullseye style putter here. It's a commemorative from Johnny Miller's win at Oakmont. You have a commemorative one to Mr. Palmer. It's called a Latrobe, but it's that sort of 8802 style. And then I have another blade putter, just started to show the evolution it's essentially a 1-to-1 of something Mr. Eldrick Woods would have used in his time on tour. And I think the common thing with all of these putters are that, they have limited amounts of tech in them, and they all share a lot of toe hang. So toe hang for the average person is just how much does the face fall from square down to the ground when I let it go. So you can obviously see the older style putters, they fall straight down, and they would be considered to have, pretty much maximum toe hang. So that's one thing that, with the more toe hang that you have on a putter, the more torque that it creates. I'm not saying the torque is a bad thing, but it certainly makes it a little bit more difficult to control the face, is the number one thing. And the number two thing that I see with blades is that there's just not a lot of space on the putter to put a lot of alignment help, lines and rails and stuff like that. If I swap out this kind of a putter for, something very similar to what maybe Collin was using the last few days. You can see the amount of space on top of the head that you just simply get to put these different alignment stories on top of putters that are able to frame the ball for the player.
So it seems to me that the only real reason to use a blade is because it like gives you confidence. Is that fair? Like there's no technical reason that a blade would be better than a mallet, I guess, or maybe is, I used to read stuff, and I know you have some interesting research about Tiger saying, open the putter on the way back and close it. It's not actually what you're seeing when you measure it. Is there a reason for an amateur to use a blade other than style points?
I honestly don't think so. I mean, the amount of variations in mallet putters now that you can get with all of these different necks, the different CG locations, the amount of MOI that's in a mallet putter, you can get a mallet with, let's say a center shaft or, like a short neck like this one has. And then we get, into like the low torque putters, center shaft. So we have all these different options that I think when mallets first came out, they were just seen as a one size fits all. They all had a double band shaft. They were all face balanced. But now you've got mallets that have like a forward CG, deep CG, short neck, long neck. You got all the possible fitting options that you would have traditionally had with a blade, but also now in a mallet.
My last question for you, you're working with Ryo Hisatsune, the guy is putting lights out. Can you explain the water situation, the drinking of the water before he putts?
I had to ask him, does he swallow it, keep it in his mouth when he putts, the whole thing? And it's kind of funny, his caddy, Billy Spencer, told me that it started in France. Played the back nine, it was really hot. He had a drink of water before every shot, and I think he shot 29 on the back nine, and he was like, I guess this is my new pre-shot routine. So that's how it all started, and it keeps going that way.
Golfers are an interesting beast. Well, thank you so much, Stephen, for explaining to us the impending death of the blade. It's people aren't going to like it for style points.
It's pretty much RIP time, I think, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we're going to hop into the Dankings. You guys have been loving the Dankings. We are going to be ranking the best non-major, non-players golf tournaments in the world. Not just PGA Tour events, golf tournaments, professional golf tournaments in the world. Number 10, the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. This is played in Scotland at the home of golf. The history here, the Pro-Am, you always get ballers playing. Sort of the DP World Tour's equivalent of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. They play at Carnoustie, at St. Andrews, and Kings Barnes. Just a legendary week. Number 9. The Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. It's the King's Place. It's kind of a week-long homage to Arnold Palmer. And it's got an identity, a real identity as being really fucking hard. It's almost like a mini US Open. I love watching it. Number 8, the Australian Open, sort of a caveat here, when it's at Royal Melbourne. Incredible golf course. Best golf country in the world, as we're mandated to say. This is kind of me almost wanting it to become bigger, because I think it's when a golf tournament being played at a golf course like Royal Melbourne, it just jumps off the screen. It was awesome to watch. Our guy Rasmus Niergaard Peterson got up and down to win the tournament. Number 7, this one might surprise some people, LIV Adelaide. I can't argue with what my eyes see. And I know people will say, oh, Dan, you said LIV Golf is dead. I said that LIV Golf is not a threat to the PGA Tour anymore. I never said that LIV Adelaide isn't a phenomenal golf tournament. Two things can be true at once. We can hold conflicting ideas in our heads. The golf course plays firm and fast. It's very Australian. The fans come out like crazy. I think Anthony Kim winning it this year adds to the legacy. So number 7 on our list is LIV Adelaide. Number 6, the Scottish Open. Just an amazing lead up to the Open Championship. And it's played in Scotland, which is, again, the home of golf. And National Opens rock. National Opens just rock. Number 5, the BMW PGA Championship. This is the DP World Tour signature event at Wentworth, which is, I've never been there. It's supposed to be one of the great golf courses on the planet. I'm dying to get out there.
Let's go.
It's probably the tournament that I want to go to most that I haven't been to. Number 4, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, the greatest meeting of land and sea. And we had Alan Shipnuck on, and he was talking about, there's some debate locally about whether it was better when it was the old clam bake and it was the amateurs playing all 4 days and more celebrities, but the best players in the world didn't play. Now they do. The last 2 years, we had Rory McIlroy beat Shane Lowry down the stretch. This year, we had Collin Morikawa beat Minwoo Lee and Scotty Scheffler. Exactly. It's been box office. Number 3, the WM Phoenix Open. There's just nothing like it in golf. It's one of the only golf events that people who aren't golf fans at all know about and want to go to.
We saw them all.
We saw them all. It occupies a really unique space in the sport. Number 2, the Memorial, Jack's Place, amazing golf course. Kind of it kicks off really the summer. And Columbus is an amazing host city. The fans are always plentiful out there, and it's Jack's event, and it's had an incredible list of winners. And the milkshakes, that's right. And number 1, the Genesis Invitational.
Let's go.
It's this week. Yeah, I'm a little bit biased. I live down the road. This is my list. Sorry. It's my favorite golf course on the planet. It's the only PGA Tour event in my backyard. It's Tiger's event. It means something for these guys to win at Riviera. So those are my top 10 best non-major, non-players golf tournaments on this green earth. We are going to move into Give Me a Winner, but first we have to address the one and done situation.
Oh, yeah.
So we had Viktor Hovland this week. I hadn't seen the floaty video. Let's roll the floaty video.
It makes so much sense to me.
I saw this sort of made the rounds, and they were saying that it was at Pebble Beach. It was not at Pebble Beach.
It wasn't?
It was at the WM Phoenix Open. Had I seen the floaty video, I would never have picked Viktor Hovland. And then there was more chaos from Viktor Hovland.
More searching.
Well, look at this on the 18th hole. That umbrella is just gone.
It did not come back.
The umbrella did not come back. So look, in my humble opinion, we're winning. We're winning the one and done because I didn't press enter for Jake Knapp, and I hadn't seen the floaty video for Viktor Hovland. So obviously there's whoever wins the one and done on Splash Sports, there's a massive asterisk because I didn't press send for the Jake Knapp video and I hadn't seen the Jake Knapp pick and I hadn't seen the floaty video. I would never have picked Viktor Hovland had I seen the floaty video. That being said, our one and done pick for this week at Riviera, another signature event, so big money. We got to get it right. We did not get it right with Viktor Hovland. Hideki Matsuyama. He is the last player to win at Riviera because last year the tournament moved to Torrey Pines. He's playing fantastic golf.
He's in great form.
He's in great form. I think he's the 4th favorite, and we've got to move up there. Obviously, there's a massive asterisk on whoever wins this, but I do also want to win it. So the pick this week is Viktor Hovland. Now we are going to bring in our guy, Rick Gehman, for Give Me a Winner. Rick joining us live on the line. Rick, before we start, I saw a really interesting graphic that you posted that this course has flummoxed Tiger, Rory, and Scotty. I think they have a combined 27 starts without a win. What is it about this course that the best players of their generation can't really seem to figure out?
Oh, God. I don't know. I actually think this is just pretty statistically random. I cannot find a reason why Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, literally like the 3 greatest players in the modern era, would be able to get around here 27 times without a win. And you look at the graphic, I mean, they've played places 25 times, have 9 wins. I mean, it's an outrageous set of courses and results, obviously, for these guys. Riviera statistically is a place where as the rounds goes on, you've got to be more exact with your drives, and the cost of missing the fairway starts to ramp up, and it really does test you in a lot of different ways. But like, these are the best players that we've seen. I really don't have an explanation for this. It's probably just some statistical noise.
Well, I have an explanation.
Interesting.
I have the explanation for the other course that they've played more than 12 times without a win, TPC Southwind. I think they have a no Memphis policy like I do. I think they just, there's something about Memphis that, it's not really.
It also looks like they should bring Firestone back into the Rota.
Because those guys just win all the time?
If we want to see some records broken, put it back at Firestone.
All right, let's dive into Riviera. You hopped into it there a little bit. It's crazy rain. It's pouring outside. It's supposed to be rainy for the first 3 days. I think it's supposed to be decent. Not super warm, though. The course will probably be wet. With all that in mind, who's your pick to win the tournament?
Yeah, and it's been a wet year, Dan. You know that. I mean, we've gotten a lot of rain. But for me, I liked your Hideki option. I think he was kind of on my short list, but I went with Tommy Fleetwood here. And he made his 2026 American debut last week, and he did it in just vintage Tommy Fleetwood style, right? It was a complete gain. He picked up strokes in all 4 major categories. He finished 4th. He actually struggled the first 3 days with the flat stick, but heated it up on Sunday, and he's putted the lights out at Riviera. He's gained more than 7 strokes putting in his last 8 rounds at Riv. So I just think this is now the start of all that great confidence, great play, already in contention a lot, like that type of run for Tommy Ladd.
I feel like plus 2,200 is a pretty good price,
Right?
given
That's crazy.
That seems like, isn't that kind of that's pretty good.
Yeah, Scotty just sucks it all up. I mean, we're seeing Rory McIlroy at like 8 or 9 to 1, which is pretty outrageous the last couple of years. But Scotty sucks it all up.
All right, top 10. Give us a top 10 pick.
Yeah, this is Jake Knapp, and think about 2026, guys. Right, so he's made 4 starts. I think off the top of my head, they're Waialae, Torrey Pines, Scottsdale, and Pebble Beach, and no finish outside of T11. And those are 4 courses that really run the gamut of style of play, skill sets, profiles, all of that. And he's found a way at every single one of them. That is usually a very, very good sign to project a guy moving forward. The other thing that he does probably better than anybody, I need to run the numbers on this, but his off the tee and his putting game are the 2 best parts of his game, which is usually rare. The longest club in your bag and the shortest club in your bag don't usually work together. So he's got this built-in floor off the tee. He's got this ability to get hot with the putter, and he's like good enough everywhere else. It's a really strong case to be made that he's like the modern style of golfer. So I've got him at plus 260 to finish inside the top 10.
Yeah, I think his ceiling is incredibly high, and it sure seems like he's made a leap this offseason. We'll see if it continues throughout the year. But when you watch Jake Knapp play, he certainly looks like a top 10, top 15 player in the world. All right, bring us home with a top 20 pick.
So this one for me is even money on Matt Fitzpatrick, and I'm kind of going with the same Tommy Fleetwood style of play here, like that well-rounded golfer who's getting into form. Matt is knocking the cover off the ball. He picked up 7.8 strokes on approach last week. That was the best tournament of his career. He's been around for a long time. It's a lot.
Yeah, because the approach play. I mean, usually he hits it really well off the tee and he putts really well, but the approach play is kind of what's gotten him recently.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back. I don't know what he's found here recently, but he gained another 8 strokes ball striking last week too. So that's off the tee and approach. So he's, I mean, it's fantastic what he's been doing over the last 2 weeks. And I just like the way that well-rounded nature of his play helps at Riviera. Like, you're gonna have to do a lot of things well at Riviera. It's probably gonna be a little bit easier, a little bit softer than we've seen in years past, but you're still gonna have to be on top of your game. And I think the guys that have multiple pathways to the top of the board are very exciting for this week. So Matt Fitzpatrick, top 20, even money. Also got to give you some love. Shane Lowry hit for us last week, so that brings us up to up 5.6 units. So if you're betting $100 on every one of these bets, and again, we don't unit shame. It could be $10, it could be $1,000. You'd be up $560. So ride with us for the rest of the year, Rick. You're the man. We always appreciate it. All right, guys, be good. Have a good week. All right, man. All right, we're gonna do the Zone Dog Race presented by Zone Nicotine. Ben, you did we had a rough start. Yeah, we had a rough start with the topics. The topic last week was way better. We're back. I'm excited for the topic this week. Run me through the Zone Dog Race.
Before we get started, I do just want to shout out Zone's new jalapeno lime flavor.
Yeah, you've been loving it.
Since they dropped this at Phoenix last week, exclusively at Phoenix Circle K's, I've made the switch from dragon fruit to jalapeno lime. This is like it tastes kind of like a margarita. Okay. Like you're drinking a marg. Interesting. There's some citrus, and then you get a little heat at the end. It's really great.
All right.
Shout out to our friends at Zone.
A personal shout out. I like it.
Bringing forward the dog race. This week, I want to know, have you watched The Last of Us?
No.
TV show?
Is that going to ruin the topic?
No.
Okay.
I want to know who you're choosing on tour to go with you on the road, if you will, if you're a literature guy, in the apocalypse. Who's your partner in the apocalypse?
Apocalyptic world. Who's my wingman?
And we're in a zombie apocalypse, I decided on this one.
All right.
So who's your wingman?
I got someone in my head, but I want to see who you pick.
Okay. Let's start off with the first battle. This is going to be Tony Finau against Wyndham Clark. Now, Tony Finau has a lot of mouths to feed, so it's kind of tough to be on the road with him, but Wyndham knows his way around breaking some wood down.
Tony Finau is the nicest person in the world. Give me Wyndham Clark with a wedge in his hand, and we are going to kill some motherfucking zombies.
That rage is going to come in handy.
That was an easy one. Wyndham Clark.
All right. Are you going with the rage doctor, or are you going with a tried and true leader who's unshakable in Scotty Scheffler?
Wyndham Clark. Again, you're picking the nicest guys out there. We're trying to do some murder out here.
It's early.
It's a dog-eat-dog world. I'm sticking with Wyndham Clark. He's going to be tough to beat.
Okay. This might be tough. We're going to throw Bryson DeChambeau in the mix because he's got a raw diet. He's got strength, and the yapping might attract some zombies. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, he'd probably want to live stream it, which, you know, I want to focus more on survival. So he's a big boy, but listen, Wyndham Clark we're going to have golf clubs. Maybe we'll have some weapons. I'm sticking with Wyndham Clark.
This is the best Wyndham performance all year. Okay, are you taking Wyndham or are you taking the indestructible, immortal John Daly? Limited needs, proven survivalist. Probably hard to infect. He might already have immunity to what.
I'll go with JD.
Yeah.
I'll go with JD. Just, you know, because if we make it out of the apocalypse, I'll be able to write a book about, you know, my time in the zombie apocalypse with John Daly. You're right. I don't think that whatever, you know, bacteria, I don't think it could latch on to John Daly's body. So I think there's very little risk of infection here. So I'm going with John Daly.
Okay, survivalist John Daly or another man who seems impossible to kill, Tiger Woods.
John Daly. We need some mobility out there.
Okay.
Not that John Daly.
Is he more mobile than Tiger?
Yeah, I don't know. I might have screwed myself there getting rid of Wyndham. You know, Wyndham, we could at least run if we need to. Tiger, I think the zombies, you know, it'd be a symbolic victory for them to take out the GOAT. So I think they would have their target on Tiger Woods, so I'm sticking with JD.
All right, are we sticking with JD? And now we're moving into heavy hitters now, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
JD against Gary Woodland, who probably has a lot of lifted vehicles. His last name is Woodland.
Yeah, I'm going with Gary Woodland here. It was a nice run with John Daly, but he's big guy, strong guy. I feel like he drives like a big Defender truck or like a Hummer. I can't say that for certain, but you know, still sort of in the prime of his physical career. Big dude, and I think he's got some cars that could come in handy for us. I'm going with Gary Woodland.
All right, we'll go put him up against another outdoorsman here, a man who showed no balls yesterday. Sam Burns. Kind of tough for him now.
I mean, look, I might have picked him before he played the 18th as a 3-shotter, but I'm gonna go with Sam Burns because Alex Bush, I hear actually, who's watching, you know, right off screen, our producer, he shot guns with Sam Burns, so I know that he is comfortable with a firearm. You know, Chudrint, Louisiana. He's comfortable in an environment where maybe there aren't so many humans around.
That's right.
So I'm going with Sam Burns.
He's a shooter. Are you taking him against another shooter who's got multiple mediums here? Brian Harman. He's a bow guy. He's a gun guy. He's got it all.
Brian Harman. This is the guy who was in my mind before, you know. Sent the European press into a tizzy when he talked about how much he loves to hunt. He likes hunting, you know, birds. He likes hunting, I assume, boars, and I assume he likes hunting zombies too. So I'm going with Brian Harman.
Brian Harman was the guy that came into my mind first, but I did want to know if you'd rather have a man whose last name literally created the nickname for himself, Rombo, John Rombo, against Brian Harman. I feel like Rom has an intimidation factor. I mean, Harman can fit in some small spaces. That might come in handy.
You know, what I'm thinking about here is Harman's the caloric intake.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a grazer. I like to eat kind of all day. So I don't want to necessarily have to share with Rombo. So I'm going with Brian Harman. I feel like his murderous potential per calorie ingested is about as high as you could possibly hope for.
Brian Harman is our dog race winner for the zombie.
That's who I thought was going to be the one.
Hey, they put up a fight though. John Daly, John Rahm.
That was fantastic.
Woodland.
That was exactly what I had in mind when we started this dog race. Fantastic.
Just wait till next week.
Fantastic performance out of you. We're going to leave you guys, as we always do, with our chirps from the gallery. Fantastic chirps this week. So, you know, there's been a lot of talk recently on golf YouTube about how good Brad Dahlke is, and Wesley Bryan said that Brad Dahlke would win matches in the Ryder Cup, and then he was playing a match with Evan Thompson, and let's roll this clip.
In the world would he give you 6 shots?
I got beat by 9 by Brad.
Yeah, but I would say Brad is substantially better than James Nicklaus, and that is not a slight on James Nicklaus at all.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Fantastic. James Nicklaus is very good at social media, and he just won on the Korn Ferry Tour, which is serious business. I don't think that Brad Dahlke is substantially better than James Nicklaus. Alejandro Tosti posted that he got his pilot's license. I don't know if there's like a temperament test, but I'm not sure that he would pass it. Tony Lasagna said, "Congrats to Tosti on getting his pilot's license. I don't know anyone I would trust more to fly a plane."
Vamos.
When I think of Tosti, I think of I caught him in this moment. I think it was at Valhalla a couple of years ago. He was playing the PGA Championship. He was making a mess. He was playing with Rory McIlroy. And he finished out, it was like the back 9, 12 or 13, made a double bogey, and he just went off the back of the green, put his putter down, and just sat there like this for like 5 minutes. I don't know if he was meditating. I don't know if he was raging, but that man burns hot.
I have an opposite memory from Toasty. It was last year's Players Championship.
When he made the hole in one.
Watch him jump in the water after making an ace and then approach him with the camera straight out of the water.
You said, "What's your name, sir?"
What's your name, sir?
Aim Point in the Wild. We loved this last year. We asked you guys to submit these. Didn't really happen, but Aim Point in the Wild is back. Guy missed to the right. You know,
The catching is good.
You got to aim point the piss, and sometimes you miss to the right. You got to see what kind of slope you're looking on. Akshay Bhatia, Ashtray. I just called him Akshay. I promised myself that I would never call him Ashtray.
Okay.
This is where we see, you know, AI coming to our aid here, because Byron Lindeek says we are a couple seasons away from Ashtray just rocking shorts. There's a lot of ankle showing. I'll say there's more ankle showing than there is daylight showing between his top hand and his chest with the long putter. Scotty Scheffler apparently has learned a new language. Either that or Hideki Matsuyama speaks maybe better English than he lets on. Byron Lindeek again, double Byron Lindeek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's in French. Watching Decky and Scotty have a full-blown convo on 17T. When did Scheffler become fluent in Japanese? We'll just leave that one with a. That was a really well-timed We'll leave it with a I guess the Hadwin family wants a dog. The Hadwin family wants a dog, and they're trying to convince Adam Hadwin to have a dog. So Jessica Hadwin, who is Adam's wife, who's written for us in the past, hasn't she? She said, sometimes peer pressure is a good thing. Help me encourage Adam Hadwin that we need this gal. To which Desert North replies, no wonder Adam hasn't lived up to his career potential. You are the problem. You're fucking crazy. To which she responds, totally normal reply to wanting to adopt a dog.
I love Jess.
I love when you clap back at the haters. And then this was stunning to me. The graphic. Oh, we got Adam Schenk.
Oh yeah.
Another friend of the show. Scrolling for my dad's name on the leaderboard, Adam Schenk played in Pebble Beach. He was in last place after 54 holes, but he shot 2 under in the final round, and he did not finish last. But we love a little self-deprecating humor. And then we had this graphic that Pebble, they like to toy around with the graphics, you know, trying to show the wind. I remember at the Players Championship, they were showing some crazy stuff in the sky on the 17th hole. We had, and this is Alex Bush, we had the invasion of the Tiger Woods triangle statements today.
This scared the shit out of me.
This looked like the United States military descending on a Middle Eastern nation. Like
what had happened?
It was genuinely scary.
They brought it back twice.
I think we need to go back to the drawing board. I think we need to.
I like the intention.
But it was the invasion of the Tiger Woods statements, and I don't like seeing those triangles in a golf setting because it scares me. Tiger is doing a press conference on Tuesday. It's tomorrow. Right. Wow, what a show, guys. We're going to leave you. We're going to talk quickly about Zone Nicotine. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Golf's all about having the right club for the right situation. Same goes for Zone Nicotine pouches, offering a variety of bold flavors available in strengths of 6 milligrams and 9 milligrams. Whether you're a fan of mint, citrus, subtle, or spicy, you're sure to find intensity and flavor that lasts. Want Zone Nicotine pouches at a discount mailed right to your door? Get 20% off at nicokick.com/zone when you use promo code DanOnGolf20. We started the show with Anthony Kim. We're going to finish the show with Anthony Kim. Quick programming note before we play our clip of the week. We're going to be back in the studio on Wednesday, our first Wednesday show in the studio in quite a while because our studio is only about 30 minutes drive from Riviera. I like being in the studio. The lighting makes everything look nicer. Our clip of the week is Anthony Kim, a little bit of motivational for you guys. We'll see you back here on Wednesday.
I would say that I wasn't the best person, the best partner, the best, whatever you want to call it, best son I could be when I was younger, but who I am today is a completely different person. With God, my family, my sobriety being the key things to my life, I can go as far as I want.
Is there an overarching message that you'd give to anyone battling a bit, or?
Don't quit. That's it.